checking out the stack, man.
One of the most time-consuming jobs of building your own timber frame, especially if you're cutting all your own lumber, is to actually make all the knee braces that it takes to do one of these timber frame projects. And I know the guys want you to say, hey, I gotta chisel every one of these. But hey, we're gonna show you a couple tricks and tips of how we actually mow through this stack pretty quick. Because Jay and I made these yesterday. And we make hundreds of these. So stick along. We'll show you how quick we could do it. So that you get I feel like that, you know, some of our
The light.
steps and some of our trick sawing techniques that we're going to show you, you're going to be able to make perfect tenons every time. Every time. This is one of the most important pieces of this timber frame, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy. We'll lay it out, and I'll try to use a little bit more tools that everybody has here. But normally, I have actually hundreds of these different little jigs of the different sizes they want. And all I'm going to do is actually use this for preliminary, just to give me my marks, and then I'll show you how we'll lay it out with a square. Okay, if you're looking at your board here, so you got your boards that are bigger. You see we do have some small cracks. We have a knot here. All this we want to cut out. So we want to be at least right there. I'm going to take out my marking knife. And all I'm actually doing is I'm going to mark the 2 ends. And that's just giving me a typical size that I'm using. Regular speed square, fellas. So we're looking to nip off our ends. Needs to be a perfect 45 degrees. Laying out, getting rid of any of this bad wood right here. So that you're getting a prime piece of wood for your knee braces, which are the strength of a timber frame. So here, I'm gonna cut this once. I'll show you with my big saw, and then if you don't have a big saw, I will show you how you have to do it if you have just a smaller saw. This just saves time because it's done in one pass. My board was moving there a little bit. Probably would be better for you guys. Let's do this safely. I don't know, Jay. Got a lot of clamps going on.
Got a lot of clamps going over there.
All right. We're going to take a quick break here since we're marking today.
Say hi to the YouTube crowd. So.
They're gone. We're all safetied back up. But guys, yeah, you probably should. Yesterday I was having no problem with the boards moving here, but today this one's moving. Now, we've actually cut these blanks two or so months ago, and they've been drying because you actually want to try to get these to dry a little. You don't want to cut them when they're super soaking wet. So you're going to cut your stock, dry it up, and then go after it. Now, if you don't have the big saw, which you see how much easier it is, you're going to have to do this in several different passes. But I'm going to show you one. Okay, my blade's not tight for a big cut like that. Let me give it a quick snug up, Jay.
Okay.
It's probably going to be done before you can turn that off.
I'm not even going to turn it off. I'm just going to keep going.
You
warts and all. Let's show warts and all.
Warts and all. Okay, the only wart is I don't know where my key went. I saw it right away. I pulled it right out and putting it in my pocket.
I was going to say hi to
I'll get that in the laundry tomorrow, fellas. So we're actually not cutting pine. We're cutting oak. So pine's going to go a little bit easier for you guys. But if you only have a small saw, you're going to have to prune yourself around. You're going to have to mark yourself out, and you're going to have to do this in 2 cuts, which is what makes it pretty essential to have the big saw if you're going to be timber framing. It's going to save a lot of time.
People are loving those big saws, man. Big Red and the like.
And it makes one complete perfect saw mark here. So let's just see how close I can get. It's gonna bug me a little, Jay. My little saw does not like that, Jay.
Oak is no joke.
Oak is no joke. Okay, I'm actually gonna fix this because I don't like that. I don't like that at all, Jay.
That's
I told you
all
that
right.
little piece right there is gonna mess me up. Showing the warts. This is actually supposed to go a little faster, fellas.
That's not your
But
typical
here, there
cut.
you go. You need to make a slight adjustment. These pieces never go together with one another. If it's a slight difference, it's not going to matter. These are all being fit into one piece. This piece is going to go into one place. So we're going to actually fit him perfectly, whatever size he is. A lot better. Not perfect, but a lot better. So you can see where the cut of this big saw one time. And guys, I'm actually pretty handy with the saw. But if you're gonna do the layout, now the next piece that we're looking for is to make this pocket right here. So we know that this is 4 inches deep. So all I do is I bring my square right to the edge, 4 inches, mark it. That's where you're going to want to be. And these things get tricky sometimes, fellas. There's my cut for the shoulder right here. So that's how quick we're going to mark out one quick side. You see how that's going? So it's really the same. Bring your square. There's your number. Put it on 4. Not that big a deal. Okay? One of these days I'll get that right. Yeah.
I always get that run backwards.
It
every
should
time.
have the angles on all 4 sides. That's going to be our cut. So I'm not going to use my little saw for these cuts. I'm going to use my big saw because I don't want to do it twice. We didn't clamp, Jay.
Want a clamp?
Well,
You don't have me around.
maybe
holding
people are
stuff.
doing this alone. And maybe their friends aren't as weighty as you. So you could see the difference in the time you're going to save by actually buying a saw like this if you have any plans of doing a timber frame. Okay, so there we go. We just made the final big cut of where our edge is right there. I'm going to take my little blue saw. Since I've already made 100 of these, I'm going to gauge my blade.
These came out really well.
These did. Very happy with this stack, Jay. Very few, maybe guys that won't make it. We always make, we probably have 15 more than we need for the first section of this project. Always like to cut more. So, here we go. If you can cut a straight line, better than I did here. This is the important line. This is actually the shoulder that's going to be seen. So this cut needs to be right on the money where this is going to get buried. So doesn't need to be the prettiest. So if you can cut yourself a perfectly straight line, it's going to speed you up, my friends.
I think that looks pretty nice, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, this cut is very nice. It's actually perfect. But occasionally with a saw blade, you can make that thing wave a little bit and the line is not so straight. It has to be flat so that it sandwiches flat. If there's a little bow here in the middle, it's going to look like you have the two ends sticking out. So this is pretty much the most important part there.
I am not that precise with the skill saw yet.
No. Sorry, Jay.
It's true.
I know it's true.
But I'm good with the sander and the chisel, so.
He's good with the he's good with the sander and the chisel. If you can't cut a perfectly straight line, I actually haven't set this up here in a little bit. I believe my blade should be at 1.5 inches. Exactly. So 1.5 inches. So what you want to do is you want to just move yourself down 1.5 inches. Okay. Take your clamp your whole system together, and you've actually built yourself a guide that you can use to help you cut the perfectly straight line. Just make sure, see, your square is on there where you want to be. Then you could just use your saw. It's almost like a straight cut, except I'm not where I want to be, Jay. So I said, I don't set it up, I hand cut them. That's where I want to be. So make your adjustment. At that point, you're going to know. If you need to use this gauge, I need it to be 2 inches from that line for it to work for me. There you go. Perfectly straight line. You can cut fast. Takes a little bit longer to set it up. So however you feel necessary, but that is a perfect line.
See, that's how I would do it because I'm not as confident in my cuts.
Exactly.
So.
And honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of timber framers will probably get mad at me because if you make a bad cut, let's just say I made a bad cut here. It is not going to hurt you to just resize and make it a hair smaller. Don't throw away the piece. They're not married anywhere. They're going to be spread all over. Nobody is going to know that 1/8 of an inch. You just, when you're doing your timber frame, you can't set up to say that every knee brace is the same. This will be specifically for one joint, and we'll measure it as we're putting it in. And that's pretty much how we do that.
I'd be interested to see the comments that come in on that one.
I know, I know. Everything needs to be perfect. Hey, we're building, if you want to build rough sheds, rough timbers, who cares? You think our great-grandpappies were worried about that 1/8 of an inch? I think they were using a piece of yarn to measure with. I don't know. I'm only kidding. So right in the middle, square yourself. We need to square this around because we need to make the second shoulder because we're trying to get our mortise to be in the middle. So I make my marks dead center of the cuts. Then I'm really going to come back and check what's going on. I'm going to use my marks. I'm going to see where we're at. Make sure both my cuts are square. That's going to be key to making these things sit flat. If you can cut these 2 cuts that we have to do perfectly, everything's going to go together a lot smoother for you. Same thing on the other side. A little bit off, Jay. I like to be right on the money.
On the money's good. Saves you a lot of heartache later.
You're actually using, let's say you guys are using pine. You actually, I have this marking knife that you actually would use to make your mark. It's going to cut, look how precise that is. But it's also going to cut the top grains. So they're not going to get any flaking on it. But I love that tool, Jay.
I know you do.
I do love that tool. So what I didn't do is I didn't check. Here's my 2 lines. I'm perfect. I'm perfect. Me, guys, I'm freestyling. If I gotta fix it, I gotta fix it.
If I gotta fix it, Jay will fix it.
If I gotta fix it, Jay will fix it. I'm always looking right here at the guide of my blade. That's the first indicator you're on. There we go.
That looks pretty good.
Let's see how we did. It's really good. It's right on the money. We're right on the square. It's a straight cut. So if you get confident enough in your cutting, save yourself a lot of time by setting up the jig, but setting up the jig is going to be a more accurate way. See how we did, Jay. I think it's looking pretty good. We're right on the money, guys.
That's pretty good, Dan.
Pretty good. So that's it. That's how you prep your beams, and you're pretty much finished for what you need to do. We're going to show you our quick little jig. Throw it back on the sawmill, because I know you guys cut all your own lumber. Who doesn't have a sawmill if you're cutting your own lumber?
I think people are going to like this one.
What's that?
I think people are going to like this.
I know. And if you didn't have a sawmill, maybe you want to get yourself a sawmill. Saves me on time and money. So really the most important part of this joinery is that this tab is perfect, perfectly square, perfectly flat, so that when it goes into the next joinery, the whole entire unit is actually holding with strength, not cut on an angle, chiseled to the point of no return. I mean, this method came right off our sawmill. I mean, how much work is there to do on that? I mean, I should have pulled one where there's a little bit of chisel work to do. Right here. Right here. Not much. I'm going to just do it for you.
Can't barely tell.
It's right there, Jay. You can't.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, this process makes chiseling fun. Enough of that. I'm only kidding. The traditional ways that the guys are always going to make these pockets in two different ways is that they're going to take their skill saw and they're going to make a series of the same cuts right here, and then they're going to chisel out kind of what I showed you, this whole thing, and try to make it perfectly flat. Not as easy said and done, and that's why they consider it an art of doing it that way. Us, we need them square. We need them done. I mean, the other way, if you have the big saw, because you can't cut anything that's 4 inches deep without having a big saw. Could you imagine trying to do this all day long with this and make perfect cuts? Let me tell you, my shoulders hurt just from the cutting I had to do here yesterday. Thank God we don't do it that way anymore. I mean, guys, if you have your own sawmill, come on over, Jay. Let's leap.
No,
Yeah.
we love the traditional stuff. It's just we've got volume. We have to do so much.
Volume.
You know?
Listen, if you want to make love to every piece of wood that goes into a house and take 10 years to build it, more power to you.
Oh, yeah.
My wife's got me under a pretty strict, hey, project finishment dates, and I am so far behind right now. But guys, sawmill here. We made a simple jig. Look at it. Almost like an old pallet. I'm able to move this to any degree that I want to do. It holds our knee braces square perfectly so that we can actually make our cuts. I mean, this has speeded up our process by days just on this project alone. So something that might take you 3 or 4 days in pain, you get done in a day. And it's fun. That's all I gotta say, Jay. It's fun.
It is. It's a great jig. It's not pretty. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not pretty. I actually look how many clamps I had to clamp it down to hold it flat.
But it is functional.
I really didn't feel like making a new one, so we're using the old one. And honestly, we made some of the best knee braces we've made in a while.
They came out
Perfect.
Great.
One of the things, guys, when you come up in here, is make sure that your board coming through here, and you can adjust your piece. If your sawmill is not running perfectly square, you want this blade to end at this cut at the same time as this blade right here. So that's a very easy adjustment with just moving your pallet to fit your particular saw. But if you have it off angled, say, you're going to make the finished cut, you're going to actually cut too far on one side. So you're trying to match the angles that you have here.
Yep.
We're pretty much right on there, Jay. I worked on them yesterday.
Yeah.
The next thing that we actually do is now you want to make sure that your saw is cutting square to your piece. So if I put this up on here, you could see. It is not right here. I'm off, I'm up an eighth, and I'm touching right here. Now you want to actually, what did I do with my clamp?
It's hanging right over here.
Another one hanging? Good.
It's hanging right there.
We ran out of clamps. So here's what you do. First, you want to clamp your piece in anyway so everything is staying perfectly straight. I'm actually using this to adjust the pitch of my board to be perfect with that blade, so you know that you're going to get a straight cut. And right now, I'm calling that perfect, Jay.
Love it.
Another thing, let's go show over here.
Okay.
Now, when Jay and I are actually doing these, we're not doing one at a time and setting up the jig like that. I mean, occasionally I'll cut one on the fly if I need to. We mass produce these, so I've got all the cuts made on the saw here, and then Jay and I work together to actually move them on, get them square, run the mill, and cut it. But we are looking at right here is we need to make our cuts for our tabs. Simple enough. Definitely with the laser system.
Love it.
Okay, so it's actually easier for us to use our laser system. I'm working on this side, guiding the cut, helping Jason stop the saw when need be. And putting a laser on your system is actually going to, you're just going to see how much faster you can actually line up the saw and keep moving. I mean, right now we're going to bring it down, but normally Jason does not leave, the machine is always running. So we're actually passing hand signals back and forth, and it seems to work pretty good. So let's bring it down, Jay. Yep, right there, bud.
Good.
Right there, hang on. So you can see how quick we line, give me a click down. One.
Half click up.
Yes, half click up. There we go. Good. Ready to go, buddy?
Do it.
Boom, first piece done. Baby down. Hang on one sec. Give me a little up, quarter clip. That's it. There's your chisel work, guys. All right? There's all the time it would take you to chisel. My back just hurts because I'm just actually hanging around watching this thing cut. So let's look at it first. Here, what do we got? Can I have that 10 gauge? Let's just see how this came out. You can see we're perfect. The cuts are perfect. We've actually angled everything in straight, and there is very little chisel work to do on this side. There you go. So we actually have a perfect, it's just it is perfectly square. You can see here right by my edge of my guide. And this one's actually ready to go. You can see here where I made that first bed cut, where we had to cut it twice, and I used the 2 saws. This is buried. Take your sander, sand that off. Give yourself a flat spot to actually brace inside the mortise where it's supposed to be. So really, Jay and I just flip these, and we just keep the process going. We just stand here all day long and pounding these out. It was quite a fun day yesterday, Jay.
It was a really fun day.
At least the afternoon was.
Looks good.
Looks good. It's a simple and easy trick, guys. Make yourself a million knee braces and build some stuff. Okay, so we made all the preliminary cuts on the saw. Jay's gonna flip this bad boy over, which is why his shoulder and back hurts.
It feels like yesterday.
This is my biceps, and really just line it up to the edge where we're at here. Jay always goes back to the saw. And now we're gonna make sure that our beam is sitting straight. Every time we turn it, every time we unclamp it, we're checking for the straightness of the cut of the saw, which is key. Key to making a nice knee brace. Jay?
Am I right there?
You are right there. Boom, my blade's perfectly square. I'm gonna tell him to come on down, Jay.
Going down.
Hey, a little bit bent. There you go.
Oh, I made it that
Hang
time.
on, we gotta come down, bud.
Okay.
One more. That's gonna be us. One up. Okay, make your first cut count.
Got it.
Got it. I don't recommend that, but I've been pulling them off. There we go, guys. There's the first cut. Cuts are perfect here, Jay.
That's good. Okay.
Bring it down, bud. Oh, hang on right there. I think you got it right on the money. Maybe one baby down.
Oh, almost had it.
There you go. Run
All
it.
right. Cutting it up. Knee braces.
She loves knee brace day. Jay, look, napping right in the way. So guys, if you actually have a sawmill or thinking about having a sawmill, this is a very different, unique way of making your knee braces that don't actually break your back. I mean, Jay and I are kind of old, and just moving these things around since they're being oak is enough for us. So if you know anything, guys, if you made any mistakes, don't worry about it. Recut it. You can see that everything's gonna fit together. I showed you the mistakes I made, and I wasn't even trying. It just happened. So this is a quick, easy, fun way of how we make our knee braces for our building. And I hope it helped you out.